Welcome back, rival fans. Today we're breaking down one of the most iconic characters in the game, Captain America. He's the perfect mix of offense, defense, and mobility. Cap is a tank hero who thrives on protecting his team and disrupting his enemies. In this guide, we'll go through his abilities, team-ups, counter picks, strengths, and weaknesses. Let's dive right in. Let's start with Cap's toolkit, which combines offense, defense, and utilities. For his normal attacks, Cap switches between melee and ranged attack modes. For his melee, he delivers 2 powerful strikes, each dealing 40 damage. Then he switches to his shield 4 times, each hit dealing 45 damage. For his first ability is Living Legend. Cap raises his shield to block incoming projectiles and ricocheting them back at enemies. His shield has 400 HP and ricochets 50% of the original damage. His second ability, Leading Dash, allows Cap to sprint forward, boosting his movement speed by 30% and allowing him to leap higher. This ability has no cooldown and allows Cap to jump whenever he likes. His third ability, Liberty Rush, charges forward with a shield, dealing damage to enemies he collides with. His fourth ability, Super Slam, allows Cap to slam down from any elevated positions or mid-air leaps, knocking up enemies on collision. His fifth ability, Shield Saw, throws his shield ricocheting off enemies up to 3 times. The first shield hit will deal 100 damage, with subsequent ricochets dealing 20% less damage each hit. And finally, for his ultimate Freedom Charge, Captain America carves forward a path, granting shields and movement speed boosts to himself and allies within range. The shields give Cap a bonus 100 HP, while allies gain a bonus 60 HP every second. He also gains a continuous movement speed boost of up to 30%. And this ult lasts up to 10 seconds. Now let's go over Captain America's strengths and weaknesses. For his strength, his first one being his versatile playstyle. Captain America seemingly switches between melee and ranged attacks, allowing him to adapt to various situations. His second strength is his strong team utility. His Freedom Charge ultimate provides shields and abilities to the entire team, making him an excellent team leader in fights. His third strength is his mobility. With Leading Dash, Cap can quickly engage enemies, reposition, or escape danger, as he is CC immune during the dash as well. His fourth strength being his projectile reflection. Cap being able to raise his shield and deflect projectiles can turn enemy firepower against them, disrupting their plans and dealing bonus damage. This ability can ricochet things like Iron Man's ult or even Groot ult. His final strength being sustained pressure. His blend of melee and ranged attacks allow him to constantly pressure enemies in both close and ranged combat. For his weaknesses, his first one being that he struggles against higher mobility. Heroes like Venom can easily outmaneuver Captain America, making it hard for him to secure the kill or to control the battlefield. Second weakness being his shield reliance. While his abilities offer decent protection, stronger shields like Doctor Strange's or Magneto's can easily outlast him. His third weakness being limited crowd control. Apart from Super Slam's knockup, Cap lacks hard CC, leaving him vulnerable to be overwhelmed by multiple enemies. His only exception being that during his ultimate, he can continuously knock up enemies while he raises his shield, but this just defeats the purpose of having to disrupt the backline and sustain yourself if you have to be raising your shield the whole time. His final weakness being traps and stuns. Heroes like Penny Parker can lock him down, removing his mobility advantage and leaving him vulnerable. Captain America is a true team player. Pair him with these heroes for maximum effectiveness. His first synergy is with Thor, where he unlocks a synergy where Cap can gain a repeated shield throw utility. It ricochets once and grants him a bonus 10% movement speed boost. This lets him keep up with Thor's similar aggressive playstyle. His second synergy is with Storm. Together they can dominate the backline and with their mobility and damage. Storm's auras also make it easier for Cap to deal more damage and move faster to disrupt the backline. His third synergy is with Groot. While Cap dives the backline, Groot can provide a strong defense for the rest of his team. Also, Groot's abilities to group enemies together with his ultimate is a perfect opportunity for Cap to use his ricocheting shield saw. Now every hero has their counters, and Captain America is no exception. His first counter is with Doctor Strange. Strange's superior shields and mobility make it difficult for him to deal with. Portals allow him to avoid any frontal fights and reposition safely. Also, his ultimate can really put an end to your ultimate, making you stop immediately and be an easy target for his allies. His next counter is with Venom. Venom's mobility and sustain make him a tough matchup. He can swing away from danger at any time. He can outlast Cap in fights with his sustain. His final counter is Penny Parker. Penny's traps and stuns can really lock Cap in place, negating most of his mobility and leaving him vulnerable to focus fire. Her continuous traps and mines also make it very difficult for Captain America to dive the backline. Now let's go over some final tips for success. Number 1. Shield timing is key. Proper use of the shield can turn enemy attacks into your advantage. Be patient and time it well. As mentioned before, this shield can easily deflect attacks like Groot ult or Iron Man ult if used at the right time. Number 2. Mobility matters. Use the leading dash not to just engage, but also to reposition and escape when needed. Number 3. Master your ricochet. Aim your shield at terrain or grouped enemies to maximize the ricochet damage. It will be difficult enough just to try to aim it at an enemy, so aiming this shield at a terrain near the enemy will make it a lot easier for you. Number 4. Play to your team's strengths. Coordinate with allies like Thor, Hulk, or Groot to control the battlefield and secure objectives. You being the premier backline disruptor, while the other tank secures the objective, can make it really difficult for the enemy team to win the game. And number 5, know your counters. Avoid overcommitting against shield-heavy heroes or high-mobility targets. Adapt to your playstyle and focus on protecting your team if you have to. And that'll have to do it for this guide. Captain America is the ultimate team-oriented tank, balancing offense, defense, and mobility. With the right positioning, timing, and coordination, you could lead your team to victory and show your enemies the power of freedom. If you enjoyed this guide, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more hero breakdowns. Let me know in the comments who you want to see next. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.